Of us, there's about five or six of us. There's Dave Williams and Lynn, who have had the vision and started it 20 years ago. We feel over the years, especially in the early years, there was a real lack of support from mainstream churches, from people that were Christians but liked the harder edge music.
How would you describe your music, Mark?
Just fast aggro punk, hardcore.
Fast aggro punk, okay, I like that.
Like that. I don't know. I try and let other people do the classifications and all that, you know. Like.
Yeah, it's pretty complicated, this whole genre classification
yeah, man,
thing.
It's like you don't want to put a foot wrong, and then like, it's like, you know, the crusties will go upset with you if you're like calling yourself crusty but you're not crusty.
Yeah.
And then like a hardcore punks will get upset with you, and the street punks don't even get me started.
Yeah.
You know, like,
Mainstream churches actively opposed, obviously, hard music and rock music and Christian music as well. You know, oh, well, you can't be hard rock and roll and metal and be Christian, you know. Yeah. And so there was a real sort of void of any support from people who were Christians and liked that music, and that's where Meltdown sort of came from. Originally, it was called Metal Meltdown because that was why it was sort of real, you know, towards the metal. But then, sort of, you know, obviously as music progressed and the styles have sort of progressed, we dropped the metal bit because it's sort of encompassing more just of the hard and extreme sides. Because I mean, there's so many different genres these days, isn't there? So,
Conduit pretty much means a conduit is a vessel for something. It carries energy from one place to another, and we got the name from I don't know, we want to be a vessel, a conduit for God.
So Christian metal, you don't see a contradiction in terms there at all?
Not at all.
Yeah.
Not at all. I mean, my introduction to Christian music was when I started with this band. A couple of the guys in there were big fans of Tourniquet. Now, Tourniquet, well, everything in their early stuff was very, very extreme, you know. But you know, they're a solid Christian band.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think there's any, there's no conflict at all.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, it's just celebrating God and praising God, but sharing God with people. It's reaching out to people, you know, in a way that they understand. That's not stood there preaching to people that they're not going to listen to that.
Yeah.
If you can get their buy the music, and that's a great way to reach people.
It's usually the done thing that folk are like, you know, like, oh well, you know, if you're a Christian punk band or whatever, then the church won't accept you because you're punk, and the punks won't accept you because you're Christian.
Yeah, yeah.
We've actually had nothing but like niceness from everybody, which is really cool.
Brilliant.
Yeah, got no probs so far.
Meltdown, I think, has helped a lot of bands over the years, that you just come to when they come to the conference and things like that, you know, really strengthened them in knowing that there's other bands out there going through the same sort of thing, and there's other people, and just building up a real network of people within the UK that they really can sort of know there's people out there praying for them when they're out on the road and things, which I think is very important, you know, they've got support there, and you know, obviously building contacts and being able to play gigs.
A safe band that only plays to Christians in nice church halls, you know, Christian festivals, or do you actually want to be playing to non-Christians? Because that's the idea. You ought to be
it's a great
evangelising, but sometimes it's not in an overt way. So like bands will play at different places, and because they've played with other non-Christian bands, they can get to talk to these bands about their faith and just get them to think.
Or do you want to see the flap?
Oh my! Oh! Dude! Oh, I didn't see that. Yeah.
All for the sake of Greenbelt, for the fans.